5 Masturbation Secrets Older Men Wish They'd Discovered Earlier. What I'm about to reveal could completely transform how you understand your body after 60. A distinguished gentleman, age 74, recently confided in me with tears in his eyes. "Dr. Marcus, I've been unknowingly damaging myself for decades." This successful businessman, sharp, accomplished, respected, had no idea that his private habits were silently undermining his vitality, confidence, and physical well-being. If you're over 60 and think you know everything about male sexuality, prepare to have your assumptions shattered. The next few minutes will expose 5 critical truths that could revolutionize your health, relationships, and self-respect. Before we dive deep into these life-changing revelations, I need you to do 3 things right now. First, hit that subscribe button. This content is specifically crafted for mature men like yourself, and you don't want to miss future insights. Second, give this video a thumbs up if you're ready to confront uncomfortable truths. Third, comment "ready" if you're prepared to learn what most doctors will never tell you about aging and intimacy. I'm Dr. Marcus, a board-certified urologist specializing in men's health with over 3 decades of clinical experience. I've dedicated my career to helping mature men navigate the complex changes that come with aging, changes that are rarely discussed openly, yet profoundly impact quality of life. The conversation we're about to have should have happened years ago, but it's never too late to reclaim your understanding of your own body. Today, I'm sharing 5 transformative secrets about masturbation after 60, truths that could preserve your circulation, protect your prostate health, and restore confidence you thought was lost forever. As we explore these revelations together, I want to hear from you. Comment 1 if these topics resonate with your experience, or 0 if they don't. Your engagement helps me create content that truly serves your needs. Now, let's uncover the first secret that has quietly transformed countless lives. Secret 1. Your erection no longer defines your manhood, and that's liberation. Recently, a distinguished 72-year-old executive sat across from my desk, his voice heavy with defeat. "Dr. Marcus, my body doesn't respond like it used to. Have I lost my masculinity?" This question pierces my heart every time I hear it because it reveals a fundamental misunderstanding that plagues so many mature men. Here's the liberating truth. Your worth as a man was never dependent on hydraulic performance. As we mature, our bodies undergo natural evolution. Blood circulation patterns shift, hormonal landscapes change, and neurological responses require more patience and intention. What once seemed automatic now demands mindfulness. But this isn't deterioration, it's transformation. The culture that shaped your understanding of masculinity emphasized performance metrics, hardness, duration, frequency. You were never taught that pleasure, intimacy, and satisfaction exist independently of perfect erections. This narrow definition has caused unnecessary suffering for millions of men who believe they're somehow defective when they're simply evolving. The revolutionary insight: orgasm and erection are distinct physiological processes. You can experience profound release, emotional connection, and deep satisfaction without the rigid response you had at 25. When you stop measuring yourself against outdated standards and start exploring your current capacity, you discover new dimensions of intimacy, ones rooted in presence rather than pressure, connection rather than performance. I've witnessed remarkable transformations when men embrace this truth. They stop chasing phantom expectations and start cultivating authentic experiences. Their relationships deepen, their self-respect returns, and they discover that maturity brings its own unique pleasures. Secret 2. Masturbation transcends sexuality. It's emotional and neurological medicine. Let me share the story of Robert, the retired military officer in his late 70s. He didn't seek my help for sexual dysfunction. He came because, in his words, "I feel emotionally numb, doctor. Nothing seems to affect me anymore." As we explored his experiences, a pattern emerged that revolutionized my understanding of mature male sexuality. Robert's nightly ritual wasn't driven by lust. It was his unconscious method of emotional regulation. He'd been using masturbation to manage anxiety, combat loneliness, and achieve peaceful sleep, without ever recognizing its therapeutic function. The neurochemical reality. When you reach orgasm, your brain releases a powerful cocktail of beneficial chemicals: dopamine for motivation and pleasure, serotonin for mood stabilization, oxytocin for bonding and calm. For many mature men, especially those living alone, this natural pharmaceutical response becomes crucial for mental health maintenance. This is particularly significant for our generation, raised to suppress emotions and avoid vulnerability. If the only time you allow complete emotional release is during intimate self-touch, that act becomes more than physical gratification. It becomes psychological survival. The hidden danger. When this process becomes mindless routine rather than intentional self-care, it loses its healing power. If you're engaging mechanically just to pass time or escape unnamed feelings, you may gradually disconnect from your deeper emotional needs. The transformative approach. When you approach self-pleasure with awareness, presence, and intention, it becomes a form of emotional clarity and neurological health maintenance. At your age, this mindful connection with your body and emotions isn't just beneficial, it's essential for overall well-being. Secret 3. The use it or lose it principle is scientifically valid but widely misunderstood. I'll never forget Harold, a 74-year-old widower who returned to dating after more than a decade of solitude. He arrived at my office devastated. "I finally found someone special, but my body has completely shut down. Is it too late?" What Harold didn't understand, and what most men never learn, is that sexual dysfunction often isn't about aging, it's about disuse. The biological truth. Your sexual organs require regular stimulation to maintain optimal function, just as your muscles need exercise to retain strength. When there's prolonged absence of arousal and activity, several concerning changes occur. Penile tissues gradually lose elasticity. Blood vessels reduce their capacity for expansion. Nerve endings become less sensitive. Circulation to the area diminishes. Harold hadn't engaged in any sexual activity for years, not because he lacked desire, but because he assumed it no longer mattered after his wife's passing. His body had been quietly adapting to this neglect, essentially forgetting its sexual responses. The encouraging news. This process is largely reversible. Through gentle, consistent, patient stimulation, without pressure or performance expectations, Harold began experiencing renewed sensitivity and response. It wasn't immediate, but his body gradually remembered its capacity for pleasure and function. The broader implication. Masturbation at this stage of life isn't recreational indulgence, it's preventive health care. Regular sexual activity maintains tissue health, promotes circulation, and keeps your neurological pathways active. Whether you have a partner or not, your sexual health deserves attention and maintenance. Secret 4. Pornography may be silently rewiring your brain for dysfunction. This secret might be the most crucial yet uncomfortable truth I share. Recently, I counseled Thomas, a 68-year-old man, struggling with what he described as emotional disconnection. Despite regular self-stimulation, he felt increasingly numb and unable to achieve satisfaction. The culprit? Decades of pornography consumption that had fundamentally altered his neurological responses. The neurological reality. As your brain ages, it becomes less adaptable and more rigid in its patterns. If you've been relying primarily on pornography stimulation, your neural pathways have adapted to expect intense visual stimulation, constant novelty, unrealistic scenarios, and immediate gratification. The dangerous cycle. Pornography triggers unnaturally high levels of dopamine, your brain's reward chemical. Over time, this creates a tolerance effect where normal sensations feel inadequate. Your brain essentially becomes addicted to the artificial intensity, making real-world touch and intimacy feel dull or insufficient. For mature men, this is particularly devastating because it occurs gradually. You don't notice the sensitivity loss initially, but eventually you realize that images excite you more than human connection, that your imagination has gone dormant, and that your body feels numb despite mental arousal. The recovery process. Thomas worked with me to gradually reduce his dependence on pornography stimulation. We replaced screen time with mindful self-touch, focusing on physical sensations rather than visual input. Within weeks, his natural sensitivity began returning. His imagination reawakened, and he rediscovered the profound satisfaction of connecting with his own body without artificial enhancement. The prevention strategy. If you currently use pornography, consider gradually reducing your consumption while increasing mindful, present-moment self-connection. Your brain retains remarkable capacity for healing and rewiring even at advanced ages. Secret 5. Masturbation can be your greatest self-care practice, not a source of shame. Arthur, 75 years old, recently asked during a routine visit, "Dr. Marcus, is it appropriate for someone my age to still touch myself?" The shame in his voice was heartbreaking because it revealed how thoroughly our culture has convinced older men that sexual self-care is somehow inappropriate or undignified. The revolutionary truth. Masturbation, approached with intention and respect, may be one of the most important wellness practices available to mature men. The comprehensive benefits. Physical health. Maintains tissue elasticity, promotes healthy circulation, supports prostate function through regular fluid release. Mental health. Provides natural stress relief, improves sleep quality, elevates mood through endorphin release. Emotional health. Maintains connection to your sensual self, preserves personal identity, combats feelings of invisibility. Arthur's transformation. After his wife's passing, Arthur had completely abandoned his sexual for 6 years. "I thought that chapter was closed," he admitted. "I didn't believe I was allowed to still be that kind of man." But when he began reconnecting with gentle self-touch, without pressure or performance expectations, profound changes occurred. His mood lifted, sleep improved, and most importantly, he reclaimed a sense of personal dignity and vitality. The cultural lie. Society teaches older men to shrink, to become sexually invisible, to apologize for having desires. This is not just wrong, it's harmful. Your sexuality doesn't have an expiration date. Your need for pleasure, connection, and self-acceptance continues throughout your entire life. The empowering perspective. When approached mindfully, masturbation becomes an act of self-respect, a declaration that you still matter, still deserve pleasure, still have the right to feel fully alive in your own body. 5 transformative secrets for mature male vitality. If you've stayed with me through this entire discussion, you've demonstrated remarkable courage. These conversations require strength, not the kind our generation was taught to value, but the deeper strength that comes from honest self-examination and growth. Recapping your new understanding. 1. Your erection doesn't define your manhood. Pleasure and connection transcend mechanical performance. 2. Masturbation serves emotional and neurological health. It's therapeutic self-care, not mere physical release. 3. Regular sexual activity prevents dysfunction. Your body needs consistent engagement to maintain optimal function. 4. Pornography can sabotage real intimacy. Artificial stimulation may be dulling your natural responses. 5. Self-pleasure is dignified self-care. You deserve to feel connected to your own body throughout your entire life. The overarching message: your age doesn't disqualify you from pleasure, touch, or healing. In fact, understanding these truths may be more important now than ever before. You are not finished, not invisible, not beyond caring for yourself with dignity and respect. Your engagement means everything to me. In the comments below, tell me which of these 5 secrets resonated most powerfully with you. If you know another mature man who needs to hear this message, please share this video. You never know how profoundly it might impact his life. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more honest, practical guidance created specifically for men over 60. Your story continues to matter. Your health deserves attention, and your vitality can be reclaimed and enhanced. Together, we're breaking the silence around topics that affect millions but are discussed by few. You deserve truth, support, and most importantly, permission to feel fully alive in your own body regardless of your age. Like this video if it provided value. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message, and comment below with your thoughts or questions. Your engagement helps other men find this crucial information. Remember, you are still whole, still worthy, and still capable of profound satisfaction and connection. The best chapters of your life may still be ahead if you're willing to embrace these truths and reclaim your relationship with your own body. Dr. Marcus, empowering mature men through honest health education.